Hello YouTubers. After 40 years, I've decided to go back into motorcycle riding. I've done some tweaking on a Honda CB300F, turned it into an awesome cycle. Come on, I'd like you to check it out. Hi, my name is Les Manning. Living in a small town in the Missouri Ozarks, here we're 20 minutes any way out of town. There's state parks, national parks, the old Route 66 not too far away with its old relic and buildings and structures. And my favorite thing in the world is to grab a camera and a lunch and take off. Now this area is rural, so there's a lot of gravel and dirt roads, mud, and so I've been looking for a bike. Did YouTube videos, saw a lot of bikes, a lot of videos on dual sports. So I went to the dealer, thinking maybe the 250 Honda Dual Sport. Got in the dealer, the bike was so high that I could, even with modifications, there was no way that I could have rode it. No way I could get up to the light and have 2 feet on the ground. So pretty disappointed. As I was leaving the dealership, I found a CB300F naked bike. It was a year-end clearance and pretty reasonable to buy. And it sparked an idea. I thought, you know, back in the day, we would build Scramblers. And I thought maybe this could be a platform for a Scrambler build. So I went home, got on the internet, and did some research for parts. Well, needless to say, I went back and bought the bike. It was a good deal. So come on, I want to show you what I've done to this bike. Now, before I left the dealership, I had them order me in some Continental. These are twin Duro tires, very aggressive, but they're rated 50/50 for street and off-road use. A nice tire. They give you everything you need in mud as far as traction, but they're also a radio, so they give you a good performance on the street. They really bite in good on the street. Now the originals were almost just a bald tire because they were just street. There was no way I could have went off-road with the original tires. As we come around to the front, the original front fender was a painted front fender. I ordered in a carbon fiber fender, and then I made a lift, and there's 6 mounting points, and I raised this fender up an inch. So that gives me a clearance. It's comparable to what you see on the adventure bikes. Next, I took this out. Every stage of the process of this build, I actually went out and tested the bike. So what I did is I took it with the new tires on it. I went out through some puddles, and I could see how this thing was going to splatter the motor. So what I did is, you can see I've just made a simple gravel guard out of alloy aluminum, and you can see it clears the motor to protect the motor. Also, here I've purchased a Radiator Guard from R&G Manufacturing, and it came from RevZilla. Wonderful people to deal with. If you get a chance to deal with RevZilla, excellent people to deal with. Let's move around here. Out on a grassy area, grass probably knee high, I noticed that the grass was sizzling on my exhaust pipe, and I thought, if I get into some dry grass, am I going to cause a fire? So I took and ordered up some pipe wrap. Buy it on Amazon, RevZilla, any of the companies. The plate I made from scratch. Not hard to do. In fact, I cut it out on my table saw with a bad blade. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but it works. Then I move over here. The foot pegs that they give you originally are a soft rubber, and I like to wear a heavy-duty work boot, and I was just chewing up the rubber foot pegs. So I took another set of foot pegs I had and chopped them up and machined them so they'd fit down into the original Honda brackets. And it works out good. It gives me a good traction as far as my foot on the peg. The rubber pegs in mud your feet will slide right off of them. So it's something to look at, and you can buy pegs that are made for this modification. Come up here, every place that I've changed, this used to be a painted fender. I ordered the carbon fiber. I ordered carbon fiber to match the side panels, and I also went to a carbon fiber rear fender, so they all tied in together. Also, the tires, the fenders, and everything that I've replaced, I've packed away, so if I ever have to return this to a naked bike, a stock bike, it can be done. As we come around here, I've added the bark buster hand guards, which are really nice. If you do drop this bike, it protects your levers from getting tweaked and bent. It keeps the brush and the twigs and the branches from hitting your hands. And I'll tell you what, if it's 35 degrees and above, I'll bundle up, and if the streets are dry, I'm out on this bike. So they will keep your hands a little bit warmer as far as the chill factor, and you can use a little bit lighter glove. Come around here, I did a lift kit on the handlebars. Now these handlebars have been lifted up and back 1 inch both ways. Reason for that is it makes it a little bit easier on your back as you're riding, but as you're on the dirt, it's nice to be able to stand up and look over your front end as you ride. It's as far as you can extend this without having to buy new cables or hydraulic lines. They'll still work with the stock lines and cables. Coming back here, and this is from Honda Racing, right from the dealer. You can throw your water, your camera, your lunch, rain gear, GPS, you can throw that in there. It's got a rain cover in case it does start raining. It covers the whole thing up. It's not expensive, and it works real well. Now, if you put your tablet in there and you stop for coffee, you can pull this off and use it for a pack. It's a nice addition, and it looks good. It's made just for this bike, and it looks good as it's going down the road. That's about what I've done to this bike. Graphics are here. I looked up on Google, and tell me if this is wrong, but Boken is the translation for adventure, so I just put adventure Scrambler on it. It worked out pretty good. Now this is a head turner. I frequent a coffee shop in a college town not too far from here, and as I come out, there's young adults gathered around this, and they don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call it, but they come up with street crawler and street fighter and rat bike and adventure light scrambler. I don't know what to call it, but this bike is a blast. I've had a blast on this thing, trails or on the road curvies. It's agile, good commuter bike, good trail bike. You can push it, it's light enough to push it out of the mud by yourself, and I really like this bike. Any questions? If you're going to build your own, we'll have contact information below. I love you all. God bless. Ride safe. Please ride safe. Bye.